So I'm doing something a little bit differently for today's video. I'm in an entirely different room, first of all, from my usual backdrop. This is the wrestling collectible room, and unfortunately for us wrestling fans, I know a lot of you guys who follow me on my page are wrestling fans as well. As of this video being released, we lost Hulk Hogan yesterday, which was at the age of 71. And I was a big Hulk Hogan fan growing up. I had a lot of sentimental value for the things that are behind me because of just, memories and things like that. So in today's episode, as kind of a tribute to the character, we are going to take a look at some of my favorite collectibles that are behind me of Hulk Hogan. I'm more of the old 80s, my generation, 90s wrestling items, even Attitude Era. I have a few nooks for my favorite guys: Demolition, Kane, Undertaker, Doink, Andre the Giant, Rhythm and Blues, Macho Man, of course. And then I do have this this mix of stuff that I've had since I was little in here. Mostly the old guys that are out of the package. This was a WrestleMania 5 ring with a WrestleMania 5 theme to it for the most part. And then that's my 90s setup. Couple belts. LJN ring up there. But today, getting back on topic, we are here because of the passing of the now late great Hulk Hogan. So I choose to remember Hulk Hogan as I have met him. I know he had a lot of bad negative publicity and things like that towards the end, but he was very nice to me and everybody who was at the signing, and that's what matters to me. So I can only go based on my opinion of how he treated me, and he treated me very good. My first favorite collectibles there is in the box, and I did a video on that. That's the 1985 16-inch Hulk Hogan, still in the packaging. And one of my current favorite items is right in there. Actually, I swapped the packaging out on this. I kind of cheated this one. I repackaged this. This is one of my favorite packagings, though, because it looks like the LJN packaging. But for you guys who are quick-witted out there, you'll know this isn't the figure that belongs in there. That's actually in here somewhere. I don't collect a whole lot of Funko Pops, but I did see these at Target, and I had to pick them up. The Sports Illustrated one is in there. This room puts off a bad glare in the evening. Those are those. A lot of my favorite items are on this particular shelf right here. Two of them right there. The LJNs. The extremely hard to find LJNs. The red shirt variant with the yellow trunks and the white and red. And that actually came with the belt. I got those off of eBay. Never owned them until about 2 years ago. Here's the Rocky III Hulk Hogan figure. Anybody who is on the fence about getting this, do it. The price is only going to go up now. I got this at a local store here in Saratoga at Westgate Mall. I only paid $60 for it, which was a steal. I don't think they knew that this goes for a lot more than that on eBay. Another thing I wasn't crazy about is, see how his head is tilted? I would like more of a forward-facing Thunder Lips, but happy to have one in the collection. Really cool figure. As we work our way towards the back of this first cabinet, one of my favorite things is the Mega Powers set back there. I didn't even take it out of the box. And behind that is the 40th anniversary of Hulkamania set with all my older figures on the top there, as well as a newer figure hiding back there, one of the worst Hulk Hogan figures ever made. Picked that up last year at Hallmark. We'll put this guy back in here. Move along to this next shelf. Coming down to shelf number 2. For some reason, this was not even my Hulk Hogan era. This was all before my time. But these are my favorite Hulk Hogan figures that I own. These are definitely my top, let's see, probably top 3 Hulk Hogan figure is this. I just love the look of this figure. I have more of these figures than I would like to admit. I have so many of them. I have these guys in the back there in figure protectors. And this particular one was super hard for me to find. I had to get that in Utah when I was out doing the Halloween 4 filming location video. Coming down to this shelf is just pretty much mostly basic stuff. These are just, for the most part, WWE Elite figures that they put out. There have been a number of them, as you guys know. He was just about in every set for quite a while. So nothing too out of the ordinary here, except for maybe that guy. That's an original 1990 Hasbro 12-inch Hulk Hogan. I'm going to finish up there. You can see a little bit of what I'm going towards in a minute. Coming down to the bottom, I was never a big WCW collector, so I don't have too many WCW items. Not hardly any WCW figures besides that. Later era Hogans and NWO era Hogans. That's my most recent one I just got in the mail from Ringside Collectibles. And as I swapped, he's down here out of place because, as you can see, I'm maxed out on space in this cabinet. So he's kind of out of place. I swapped the Macho Man out for him to put him in kind of a WrestleMania 3 cart that takes him to the ring. Again, being out of space, that's how that ended up in there as well. Continuing on the out of space type thing, we moved down to this third shelf. It was the only spot I could find to continue Hulk Hogan's. This is my No Holds Barred shelf. I do have No Holds Barred autographed by Tiny Lister. Got to meet him before he passed away. This is a little wonky figure that I got from Mattel. Unfortunately, I got a defect. If you don't keep that belt pulled down lower than it's supposed to be, this leg kicks out, unfortunately. There's the awesome Rip and Zeus set from that No Holds Barred set back there. And I got a Kurt Fuller. I move along up here. Things start to get a little haywire because I don't always have a whole lot of time to sort stuff. There's my very rare WrestleMania 5 poster. And a couple foam fingers. I've now moved out of my collectible room and into my garage. The Toys R Us 8x10 photo. That was a Toys R Us exclusive. Came in a set of 4. This postcard I believe I got somewhere in San Francisco during one of the Cow Palace events. Found this as a souvenir shop. A couple of WrestleMania cards with Hulk Hogan on them. Hulkamania poster. This is not an old one. This is one of the ones from Mattel, I believe, or one of the toy companies that had the figures at Toys R Us, is where I got this. I do have living proof that I am from the Hulkamania era. If you guys recall when Earthquake crushed Hulk Hogan and he was out of action, they had a Get Well Soon Hulk address you could send a card to, and I sent one and got this in return. The only Legends Target display that I own, that I actually picked up in Salt Lake City, filled with Ichiban Hogan. I wasn't lying when I said I owned more than I'm going to admit. My favorite figure. And this is where my fandom for the WWF began, was thank you in part to these two, Hogan and Savage. I was intrigued, I was hooked enough to start watching wrestling from WrestleMania 5 on. It was also my first main event that I seen at the Cow Palace was Hogan and Savage. So here we have a program from 1990, one of my first WWF live events. Look at that, $3 for a program. I don't even know how much a program costs anymore because it's been such a long time since I've gone to a live event. Probably, I don't know, maybe close to 9 years. Tickets have just gone ridiculous lately. I would love to take the kids, but it's just not really family friendly anymore, price wise. Here's the card for that night that I attended. Hogan and Dino Bravo on top. I don't know if you guys saw the picture that I had in the other room with Hulk Hogan. I actually met him at the Cow Palace. So to see him perform at the Cow Palace and then all these years later be able to meet him there, that was just really fucking cool. Of all places, the Cow Palace. One last look at the Hulkster brothers in the wrestling collection room. Been a really terrible week, to be honest. Getting the news that one of the icons of wrestling, possibly the greatest icon of our generation in wrestling, has passed away. So rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. I have neglected to say it because I didn't really want to do an intro and whatnot for this video. But I do have an eBay store, so if you guys are into any of this kind of stuff, feel free to check out the store. I'll throw the link up in the video description and on the screen. But until the next time I see you guys back here on the channel, I want to go ahead and say so long, everybody.